Did you know that in Greece, only 1 in 3 people trusts their government? And that figure is not much higher for the average EU citizen. In fact, within the European Union, only 1 in 3 people trusts their national government, according to the latest Eurobarometer survey. A similar study was led by the Pew Research Center, which showed that 40% of the European population is dissatisfied with the state of democracy. And that number rises up to 70% in southern European countries like Spain, Greece, and Italy. And yet, 9 in 10 Europeans, above 90%, agree that EU citizens' voices should be better taken into account for decisions related to the future of Europe. People want to participate in democracy, but the system is not designed for them to engage and feel heard. My name is Sophie Vériter, and I've spent the last decade studying European politics. In fact, I just submitted my PhD thesis. Yay. Thanks. On misinformation, but that's not what I'm here to tell you about. Professor Graddon will do that in exactly 1 hour. I'm here to tell you about a very fun project that I led with 8 other doctoral researchers as part of a program called the Europaeum to make democracy more engaging. So as I was telling you, we noticed that many people are disengaged with democratic processes, not because they don't care, but because they don't feel like the systems work for them. They don't feel heard, they don't feel like their voice matters, they don't really understand politics, and they think it's pretty boring anyways. So we came up with an idea to try and fix that. Have you heard of gamification? Quick show of hands. Who in the room has heard or has played Duolingo? You know, the app where the real challenge isn't learning a language, but surviving the anxiety of losing your streak? You get it. So gamification means applying elements of games, like points, levels, rewards, to non-game contexts, like democracy. It has been used in education and learning, like Duolingo, but also in health and fitness. If you use a smartwatch or a fitness app, you know that the challenge and the fun part is what keeps you going. But gamification is not just a way of keeping people engaged. Research shows that integrating game-like aspects in dull processes increases motivation, interconnectedness, and leads to better learning outcomes. Companies like Deloitte and SAP have already harnessed gamification to train their new employees. So, for example, the SAP community platform uses interactive challenges and badges, which led to a 150% increase in user engagement in just 1 year. So, could we do the same with democracy? That's what we wanted to test out. So we organized 2 pilot events, one with students in Madrid and one with policymakers in Brussels in collaboration with the Commission. We created simple games involving role-playings to come up with policy proposals that would later be fed into European Commission public consultation. And what we found is that participants not only had fun while discussing the climate crisis and social justice, but also felt included in the discussion, felt empowered to induce change, and left with the intention to connect with people and organizations outside of their little bubble. So based on this experience, we developed a toolkit, the Level Up Toolkit, a guide on how to make existing participatory and deliberative democracy processes more engaging, more inclusive, more fun, and ultimately more effective. We made actionable recommendations on how to improve citizens' assemblies, the selection of their topics, and who is there and what they're going to do and how are they briefed. And we focused on European citizens' panels because we thought that's where our recommendations can have the most impact. But the lessons that I took away from this project are much broader. We can and we should gamify democracy in so many different ways. Imagine that in addition to voting every 4 years, you get to share your thoughts through a fun app that rewards you and connects you with other citizens. You could earn digital badges based on how much you've contributed to public consultation or how much you've learned about your political system. Imagine that you could receive notifications informing you about how your ideas are followed up by politicians. Your proposals could be showcased in digital or physical exhibitions. Now, gamification is often considered in online contexts, but it should also be implemented in offline situations. In-person interactions, like what we're doing here today, tend to be more effective and valued, especially among young people. So instead of joining a conference, we could connect and debate at a festival with artists and leaders and a banging atmosphere. Citizens' assemblies and forums should include scavenger hunts with hidden prizes that incentivize people to learn about politics, culture, contentious ideas, and people on all sides of the political spectrum. So you may think that games are for young people, but research shows that most adults play video games and board games regularly. There's no age for play. It's a fundamental part of our lives. And you might also think that games are not for serious subjects, but simulations are used all the time by crisis management experts and in military trainings. It's very effective to integrate new material and prepare for unexpected situations. Now, isn't that serious? Democracy doesn't have to be dull or detached. It can be inclusive, it can be empowering, and yes, it can even be fun. That's my moment of truth. Today, we have a choice. We can play by the old rules, or we can redefine the game. With a little creativity and a lot of courage, we can level up the way we connect and contribute to our communities. Together, let's make democracy something we're all excited to play, because every voice deserves to be heard and everyone deserves to win. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophie.